guys, welcome back to Airam's Vegan Vida. Hola amigos, bienvenido a mi canal. Me llamo Airam. And today I'm super excited to be filming some pozole for you guys. This is a highly requested video. Every time I mention what do you guys want to see, or in comments or DMs, everyone always tells me, can you please make vegan pozole? So this is what I did for you guys. I called my mom and I was like, hola mama, ¿cómo haces tu pozole? She told me, I took some notes, and that's really how it is. So what she likes to make is a white pozole. So I'm going to be taking her white base of pozole and adding some redness to it because I want to make red pozole. I prefer red pozole, although she never made it growing up. And I love the white pozole because that's what I grew up eating, but I like the redness because it looks better, and it also like the flavor that all the chilies and everything adds to it. And I just want to say a little quick shout out to my mom. So quería mandarle unos saludos a mi mamá. Lo que quería decir es que mi mamá siempre me ayuda con mis recetas veganas. La quiero mucho con todo mi corazón. Es la mejor mamá, el número uno. Y estoy muy feliz que mi mamá siempre me ayuda con mis recetas veganas. Siempre le llamo y ella está feliz a ayudarme. Y es la mejor mamá, es la mejor cocinera. No le digas a mi papá, ¿ok? No, a mi papá también. Los dos son muy buen cocineros y los quiero con todo mi corazón. Y muchas gracias, mami, por siempre ayudarme en todo y apoyarme. Eres la mejor. Really, all I have to say, I'm super thankful for my family in general. They are really supportive with my vegan lifestyle and everything, and they're always there to help me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. It was highly requested, so this is for you guys, the viewers and the followers. You guys are the best. Y gracias por todo su amor. Bye. Okay you guys, so to begin with this recipe, I'm gonna start off by showing you guys how I prep my jackfruit. So for this recipe, I'm using 2 cans of jackfruit from Trader Joe's. Make sure you get the jackfruit in brine, and I'm gonna thoroughly rinse that, and then I'm gonna place it into a pot with some water, boil this for 45 minutes, and then switch out the water for another 45 minutes, 1.5 hours total. I absolutely despise when jackfruit's brine taste lingers, so this is the method I use to remove that brine taste, and I find it absolutely worth it. Now that the jackfruit is out of the way, I'm going to start off by rinsing out my hominy. I like to use the Juanitas brand. This is the biggest can they have. It is 14 ounces, so I do recommend using this brand. You can find it at your local store in the Hispanic aisle or in a Hispanic store. And what I like to do here is completely rinse out this hominy to wash off any of the liquid it came with. And I'm going to place it into a pot with some water, filling it up all the way. And this is already pre-cooked, but I do like it to soften more and cook a little while I do everything else on medium to low heat. Now to get started on the Chile Rojo, I'm going to be using 1 dried chile pasilla alongside 5 dried guajillo chilies. And I'm simply going to be de-seeding these and de-stemming these like so. And there you guys have it. I made sure to remove every last bit, and I'm simply going to be placing these into a pot with some water and boil them until they have softened. Okay, so now that the chilies have softened, I'm simply going to be adding them into the blender alongside 1/2 cup of the cooking liquid, and then blending this until smooth. I am going to be putting this through a strainer, so it doesn't really matter how smooth I get it, but yeah. Okay, so now back to the jackfruit. I'm going to completely take out the liquid it was cooking in and filling it all up all over again and boiling this for another 45 minutes. Alright, so now that the jackfruit has been boiling for roughly 1.5 hours, I'm going to simply re-wash it all over again. And at this point, you will start to realize that the jackfruit is insanely soft. All those hard parts, all those seeds, and the jackfruit in general is going to fall apart, just like me, which is pretty insane. And I'm gonna kind of just roughly shred this. I don't want it to be completely shredded because traditional pozole usually has chunks of meat and shredded meat. And next up, I'm gonna be setting this to the side and completely squeezing out any remaining liquid because you want the jackfruit to be as dry as possible so it can absorb all the pozole liquid and flavors. And this is what the jackfruit should look like. And now I'm gonna be setting this aside for later usage. Okay, so before we add everything into the pozole, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that my mom showed me that her mom showed her. So I'm going to add 2 cups of some water alongside half a cup of some hominy and 6 garlic cloves, and blend that until smooth. So this is gonna act as a thickener into the pozole later on. Okay, so finally back to the hominy. So I'm adding 2 cups of vegetable broth. Today I used the Better Than Bouillon vegetable base. This broth is insanely flavorful, so I suggest use a flavorful one. The reason why that is because jackfruit isn't going to create a broth because it is not real meat. So we're going to add some flavor by adding a vegetable broth. And now we're going to simply strain that sauce we made earlier using a mesh strainer so we don't get any chunky pieces. You can totally skip this step if your blender pureed this perfectly. Mine did not. So that is the reason why I'm doing this. I want my pozole to be as smooth and as delicious as possible. Okay, so now I'm gonna really mix in that red chile, and alongside that I'm gonna be adding that mixture we made earlier, the garlic, hominy, and water mixture, to act as a thickener, and so the garlic flavor could really start coming through. And lastly, we're gonna be pouring in that jackfruit that we set aside earlier to really start developing those flavors and soaking it all in. So now that I stirred that around a bit, as you guys may have realized, I have not added salt content yet other than the vegetable broth. So I'm adding 3 tablespoons of some salt. But this is definitely up to you because this depends on how much liquid you are adding. I didn't quite measure the amount of liquid I used. All I did was cover up the hominy, and this really does depend on the pot you are using. Alongside that, I'm adding 1 teaspoon of some Mexican oregano and 1 bay leaf that we'll be fishing out later. Okay, so now I'm gonna simply be boiling this for 20 minutes and then reducing to a simmer on medium heat for another 20 minutes, maybe 45 minutes total. So while the pozole is on its very last step, I'm gonna be making a chile pozolero, starting off with half a cup of some water, 1 garlic clove, 1 teaspoon of some salt, and roughly 35 toasted chile de árbol. And that's really all there is. This is an insanely spicy salsa, but it really adds to the pozole. Just blend until smooth and set aside to serve alongside your pozole later. Okay, so now back to the pozole. It has roughly been 45 minutes and I'm fishing out that bay leaf, and there you guys have it. The pozole is all done and ready to eat. Of course, it is insanely hot at this point, so maybe let it cool down just a bit before serving. But it came out so beautiful and I'm super proud of it. And all that there is left to do is to plate up this delicious pozole. So take any bowl, pour in some of the pozole, and some optional toppings are some cabbage, some diced red onion, some limon. You got to have the limon for pozole, and some radishes. And some of that delicious salsa that we made earlier, only adding a little bit because it came out so crazy spicy, and you guys already know I am not good with spice. And here you guys have it, the final product. Everything came out so delicious and so vibrant, so beautiful. This pairs beautifully with some tostadas or tortilla chips. I like to pair mine with some baked tostadas over fried tostadas, but it's just a preference, do as you please. This dish is perfect for maybe a party, when you have friends over. It is super cheap. I forgot to mention that, but I spent roughly $12 to make this entire batch, and I'm super stoked about it. If you guys don't want to use jackfruit, for some reason don't have access to it, you can substitute this by using some oyster mushrooms or some cremini mushrooms. And that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Goodbye.